Hi everyone, welcome to my channel MoreToChess. This is position number 2 from the section Rook vs Pawn of my complete Rook ending series. This is the position white to move. You can pause the video and solve it by yourself. Okay, if you have found the move Rook g5, you are correct. Rook g5 is the best move, as we seen in the previous video. Rook g5 with some cutting of ideas, but here it is not possible because the black king can support his pawn with this side. So Rook g5 is the best, but we will discuss it later. First we will see what happens if white play other moves, like what if white play king g7. King g7 is a mistake which allows black to draw the game or level the game. With black response here with the move king e5. King e5 is called body checking. It prevents white from entering the position. It prevents the white from coming to f6 square. After this, white plays rook c8, attacking the pawn. Black plays king d4, saving the pawn. Then white plays king f6, rushes off to attack the pawn. Then the obvious move c4. Now white can attack with two moves, two different directions, like king f5 and king e6. First we will see king f5. After king f5, the obvious move is c3. Now king f4, king d3, king f3, c2, king f2 and king d2. Now you have to remember this position because it comes from many positions. This is a drawn position. Here white have to give check, no other thing. Now this is the critical point where most people blunders. King c1 is a blunder. If you play king c1, then white will play king e2, and now you have to play these two squares like king b2, then check. And now if king c3, then again check, and if king b2, then king d2 wins by force. And if you play and if you play king c3, then it's drawn. After king c3, rook c8 check, and then again king d2, just drawn. So here we have already seen king f5 draws the position. Now what if king e6? If white plays king e6, then c3, of course. King d6, the idea is to attack here. So king d6, now king d3, king c5, and pawn push, king here, and now queen. So it's also draw. So now back to the position. What happens if white play rook c8? We have already seen king g7 move. If white plays rook c8, the third move, then what happens? Then it is draw very easily. Like king d5, white try to reach the black pawn, push, king f6, and just draw. So see, again this position, it's a draw. So now we have seen the only winning move is rook g5. After rook g5, the black have only idea to come by this side. Now the time black waste to come to this side, in that time white will gain the tempo to attack this pawn. This is the main concept. But instead of king c6, if black plays king c4, then it loses because of the cutting off principle, as you have seen in the last video. So king c6, and now king g7, king d5, all as we have discussed, king f6, and now king b4. You cannot push the pawn because it's pinned. King f4, and now king e5. Now as you have seen, the time black king spent coming to this side, white get tempo to get to e5 square. So now c4, king d4, and now c3, king d3, king b3, and now rook c5 just pins the game by force. Okay, so that's all, and thank you very much.